Welcome to the WanderLearn podcast. I'm your host, francistapon. In this episode, I review a Vacasa home. Now, if you remember a few episodes back, I interviewed Thaddeus of Vacasa, and we talked about it and talked about how it worked. Well, I want to see actually how it really worked and actually have a real life experience. Now, it makes a whole lot more sense if you actually see the YouTube video. So look in the show notes and you'll find a link to the YouTube video I made about this. But you can still just listen only, and then you'll still get something out of it, because I give a lot of tips about when to use Vacasa, what are the gotchas, what do you things you want to look out for, and be careful before you use them. A lot of great deals, a lot of great things to use to get out of Vacasa. You just have to be smart about it. So listen to this episode and learn about when to use it, when not to use it, and what are the gotchas. All right. Welcome to the WanderLearn podcast. I'm your host, francistapon, and today I'm going to be reviewing a house I've been staying in for the past 3 days. It's part of Vacasa. Vacasa, if you haven't heard from my earlier podcast, is kind of like an Airbnb, but not really. They basically rent out vacation homes, and so I want to give you some tips about it in case you want to rent from Vacasa or somebody like it, things to look out for, and what's great, what doesn't work, etc. Start off in the pictures that you'll see of the house. You'll see this 3-car garage. Now, they don't tell you that you can go into the garage and park your car inside. This is a plug-in hybrid. It's a Chevy Volt, and I was hoping to plug in to the garage itself, but I wasn't, because it's where the family who owns the home stores most of their valuables and personal items and things like that. So it's actually completely locked up and inaccessible. So that if you have an electric car or a plug-in hybrid, that is not going to work for you. So always, before you rent a place and you see a garage, check first to make sure that you can actually get into the garage and have access to that. Minor point. The good news about Vacasa is that they didn't promise me that. So it's not like they said, hey, yeah, you can use the garage. I just saw a picture of the garage and I made an assumption incorrectly. That was my fault. So if you're ever unsure, if they don't say it's accessible, ask, and then you'll find out. The residence itself is super beautiful. You can kind of see the entrance here. For those who are listening, you won't be able to see all the stuff, but it starts off with a guest room over here that you can access through a secret code. Okay, come on in. And it's almost basically like a hotel room. You've got a bedroom and a faucet, a sink and a shower. So this is kind of like a standard hotel room, but this is just one of the rooms that you have available to you in this whole house. So this is in case you have, let's say, a teenager who needs his own space, or a mother-in-law that you don't want to see all the time. They don't have their own kitchen, so they're going to have to share the kitchen with you in the house. That's life. And over here you can hear the water running. It's a fountain or some sort. Makes it pretty. They give you access through a lockbox in order to get inside. And now we're entering into the main house itself, and it's pretty amazing. Super high ceilings. You've got this dining room table here, living room, and a spectacular view of the mountains of the Fountain Hills themselves. And wanted to give you some other tips about it. Here's a fireplace that you can just turn on at a click of a button. Voila. What is Vacasa ideally for? It's ideally for families or big groups, friends, families who are going to be staying for several days, ideally like a week or something like that. That is the people who are really going to benefit the most from Vacasa. If you're just a couple, let alone a single person, and you're only going to stay for one night or 2 nights, Vacasa usually economically is just not going to be the best thing for you. And why is that? The reason is that every property in Vacasa has a cleaning fee, and that cleaning fee is fixed. For example, for this house, it's approximately $250. because it's a really big house, as you're going to see in this tour. Here's the kitchen, by the way. And the nice thing about the kitchen is that obviously it has the dishwasher and that kind of stuff, and the refrigerator and all the normal things, but they also include inside here some items for cooking, like Tabasco sauce and little herbs and spices and olive oil. Because one thing that is always annoying when you rent a place that has a kitchen is that sometimes they don't have the olive oil or the mustard or whatever, the salt, and then you have to go out to the store and buy a container, and yet you're only going to be there for, let's say, 3 days or 4 days. You don't want to buy a big container of salt just for that little experience. So that's one of the things that is very nice, that they include these little items, because the money that you save from cooking your own food is all lost if you got to buy all the little items. Over here, by the way, is the pantry. And so because that cleaning fee is fixed, then whether you stay there for a month or a day, it's going to be the same. So obviously you're going to be able to amortize that or spread that fee across several days if you stay there a week or more. Inside here you'll see all the appliances plus plenty of space for storage. This is somebody's second home. They probably only stay in this home for maybe a few weeks a year, and they rent it out the rest of the time. So if you happen to have a second home, Vacasa is a really good option for you. Here's a spare bathroom. If I could find the switch. There we go. And then here is another bathroom. So I guess that's 2, including the other ones. That's a third bathroom. So we're right now at 3 bathrooms. And this one has a shower as well. Whoops. Plenty of fans. Everything's modern and clean, and they give it like a hotel experience where you have shampoo, conditioner, and the little items here. And you can hear from the background maybe that sound. That's the washing machine. Sorry, the laundry, and they're pretty much industrial sized machines that you can use. And again, they also give you soap, which is very convenient. So that allows you again to save money from not having to go out there and buy a huge thing from Costco and a laundry soap that's going to last you for so long. Here's the spare bedroom, another room, and we're going to take you now to the master suite, which is really awesome. There's Wi-Fi included, high-speed internet, as you can expect, and now we're going to go show you the last 2 rooms. So how many bedrooms are we at right now? I think this is my 3rd bedroom right now, and we'll go to see the master bedroom, which is the 4th bedroom. And here's another nice view. Another nice bedroom, and again another shower. So if you've got a family or friends, this would be great. Let's say if you're going to a place that you need a ski lodge, where you need lots of people to pack in a place, because you could have 10 people here, easily 10 people. And if it costs, let's say, $500 a night, well, that's only $50 per person. That's a pretty good deal. The room rates, they're very strategic. Vacasa has some sort of crazy algorithm that allows them to figure out what's the sweet spot to charge. So the prices range all over the map. Sorry that the master bedroom is a bit of a mess here, because of course we just slept in it. But here you have a enormous room with another television and a spectacular view of the mountains behind us. And then the master bathroom is another palace, which I could practically live in because it's so huge. It's got a big tub, toilet, and things. So overall, very impressive. The other thing that you really need to be careful about when you're renting from Vacasa is just to make sure that you look at all the fees. And the good thing about Vacasa is that they disclose those fees very clearly before you book, unlike some other places that might nickel and dime you after you book. They tell you right up front, let's say if you want to heat the pool, that's going to cost you extra. Some properties in Vacasa, they have, let's say, a hot tub fee that's included whether you want to use the hot tub or not, which is kind of annoying. But at least they disclose that to you. They also have, let's say, a pet fee. For example, if you're going to bring a pet, they might charge you extra. In some cases, they won't let you bring a pet at all. Here's a room, by the way, that they showed in the pictures of the house, but I can't actually access it because it's locked. This is a office. Now, this house is so big, and we're only two people. I don't really care to have access, but if somebody really wanted that, I'm guessing that the owner locked it because he has some valuable things in there that he doesn't want people to use. Same thing with the garage is inaccessible, and maybe one other closet that I can't get to as well. Those things are locked for their security things. But I just wish that they hadn't shown it in the photos saying, hey, here's a nice room. And by the way, oops, sorry, you can't use it. Let's go outside. All right, and now we're going to end our tour here outside where the pool is. And it's cold right now because it's winter. But I imagine if you're here in the summertime, you just want to dive into this thing immediately. And so what I was talking about earlier was the fees. The fees of Vacasa are disclosed, and I appreciate that, but you need to check out it. Sometimes the fee can be more than the rental of the property itself. I'm not kidding. So, for example, you might say, okay, I want to stay, it's $100 a night, 3 nights, that's $300. But then there's the cleaning fee for $200, and then there's the pet fee for $50, and then there's the taxes, which is another 7%. And then there's the booking fee, which might be another 10%. Before you know it, you're spending, let's say, $300 to rent the property, but then another $300 in fees, potentially. Obviously, if you're going to stay for many days, then that ratio doesn't diminishes, and maybe fees only account for 25% extra on top of the thing. So in the end, it still can work out as a great, great deal, but something that you want to take a good look at before you book with them. And so it makes it a bit harder sometimes to do an apples to apples comparison between, let's say, renting a hotel room. Usually hotel rooms kind of include everything up front, and the exception to that, by the way, was when I went to Las Vegas a couple of days ago. I was staying at the Paris hotel, which was $52 a night. And then I get there and they're saying, oh, by the way, there's a resort fee. And how much is that resort fee? $42 a night. That's right. The hotel costs $52. The resort fee costs $42. So I'm like, it almost doubled the price right off the bat. And that was undisclosed to me. And that, of course, pissed me off. So Vacasa doesn't have that. They let you know all the fees up front, but you got to check it. And it makes it a little bit more complicated. You have to go through the process. You don't have to create an account, but you do need to like click and select the particular nights that you want, and then click on it and say how much is the total going to be. And then you're going to see, boom, the price is going to jump once they throw in all the fees on top of it. But again, that's a simple tip. What I love about it is the fact that if you ever have to have, let's say, a wedding party, or you want to have a big event and have all your friends go someplace and check out, go hiking in a outdoor area like Arizona, then this is a fantastic option. It's also great for homeowners. If you've got a second home that you only stay in a few weeks or a few months a year, then this could be also a good option for you, because Vacasa does everything soup to nuts. It's pretty much turnkey. They make sure that you're available on all the sites, and they take about a 25% commission or something like that, but then you don't have to deal with any of the headaches at all. So that's for homeowners, it's a fantastic option as well. So that's my experience with Vacasa, and I wrote a review about it on my website, which is francistapon.com, or you can go to WanderLearn.com if that's easier to remember. So that's it. I was quite impressed overall with this place, and you should definitely consider it whenever you want to when you have a big group and you're going to stay for a week or more. It's a no-brainer, totally no-brainer. If, on the other hand, you're just one person or a couple, it still could work out. You just have to look at specific properties and dive into specific things, because they do have condominiums. They don't all have these palaces and huge places. Sometimes they have small apartments. So you can check out that as an alternative to the knee-jerk reaction of going to Airbnb or Booking.com or the standard hotel rates. It's Francis Tapon, encouraging you to wander and learn. And that concludes this episode of the WanderLearn podcast, where we explore travel technology and transformation. If you'd like to see the show notes with links to what we talked about, or if you'd like to comment on the show, or if you'd like to ask me a question, then go to WanderLearn.com and click on the latest episode. If you'd like to connect with me, just remember ftapon. That's my first initial and my last name. ftapon is the username I use on all social media. You can also get to my website by going to ftapon.com. Here's one last reason to remember ftapon. If you like what I do and want to get rewarded for supporting my projects, then go to patreon.com/ yep, you guessed it, ftapon. That's where you can pick up some sweet rewards for as little as $1 a month. And remember, subscribing to the WanderLearn podcast helps, but downloading each episode helps even more. Please share the podcast, review it, and sign up for my newsletter at WanderLearn.com. This show was edited by Rejoice Tapon. The music was composed by Eric Stratman. This is Francis Tapon, encouraging you to wander and learn.